The final Cornhill Test match of the summer between England and the West Indies. This one at the Oval. Welcome to the highlights of the first day's play. And a magnificent day it was. Not a cloud in the sky when the two captains went out to toss. And the teams they announced were West Indies. They lost Winston Davis, left out for Malcolm Marshall, coming back into the side after that hand injury at Headingley. And Gus Logie is 12th man. England have Tavare in the side, and they have a bowling attack that consists of Botham and Ellison and Allott and Agnew. West Indies won the toss, decided to bat, and in fact it is Jonathan Agnew we see first now. For the first time in a test match, this young man from Leicestershire comes into bowl. It's the first over of the day, and he's bowling to Gordon Greenidge. Greenidge off the mark. Oh, well bowled. A great delivery that from Paul Allott. It was right up to the bat. Brought the attempted drive from Desmond Haynes, and it did just enough to beat the bat.
Yes, he completely deceived Hayes there. He drew him forward, and he never really got properly forward. The ball just running into him. And in fact, reminiscent of Hayes, I think, being done at Headingley on a similar sort of stroke. And a very poor series indeed for a player of Hayes' ability who has really performed well in Test cricket.
First ball to Larry Gomes. Off the mark. An artist having a look at the test match, and that's what she's doing. No people on it yet, but a faithful reproduction with some interpretation as well from an anonymous young lady. Well bowled. Must have been just outside off stump, but that's a good delivery.
And again, a similar sort of delivery that, in fact, got Hayes out. But Greenidge playing defensively just got his leg probably outside the off stump, but it would probably have bowled him.
Single there to Gomes. I think Ellison will fancy an over or two before the shine goes off this new ball. Not quite where he intended, but it's going to bring him 4 runs. Looking at that shaped square, I was a bit late on it. Found that very big gap between slip and gully. And beaten there. Good delivery there.
And this was a fine delivery again by Paul Allott. Just missing the outside edge of the bat, very close to it indeed. And he really has bowled well this morning. He's bowled a very good line and length and moved it a bit either way. And again, you can just see how close he was to that. Just playing slightly across the line a little bit. That was probably the reason he missed it, but if it had been a bit straighter, he might have got an edge.
Oh, that's a good shot. Picked the gap perfectly between mid-wicket and mid-on. That rain's just slowed this oval outfield down a bit. Normal circumstances a couple of weeks ago that would have been 4, but they're having to run this time. One of the longer boundaries out there in first-class cricket. Swung away, it'll find Allott down there. Well, first blemish by Paul Allott here this morning. But in his defence, I must say that outfield down there is a little bit rough at the moment. But it seemed that the ball was going to bounce into his hands quite conveniently. But in and out, and his desperate last attempt to save it was in vain. That's fairly close, and he's gone. Well done, Ian Botham. So Greenwich goes LBW, it's 45 for 2. And this is the way it happened.
Yes, I think a pretty straight delivery did this. Greenwich on the back foot, just coming back into him, and I think it hit him on the right leg there. You can see it from the other end here. Yeah, that looked pretty straight, below the knee, so I can't think he could really grumble.
He let the first couple go past. He didn't muck around with that one. All sorts of shouts there, and didn't seem to me that it had flown off Richard's glove. Good catch. He's up 3 yards, and he took that magnificently. Ellison's first wicket in Test cricket. You can mark that down as one of the best slip catches you'll see for many, many years. Gomes out, caught both them, bowled Ellison.
This is a fantastic reaction catch by Ian Botham, because he's hit hard at it, it's flown very quick, and he's plucked it down from in front of his face with both hands.
Well, that was a great catch and a marvellous breakthrough for England. And what a moment for Richard Ellison to take his first wicket in Test match cricket. Gomes out for 18. Dujon saw it through to lunchtime with no addition to the score. 64 for 3 it was at lunch. And before the interval, Ian Botham had been trying to set up Viv Richards for that hook shot, to have him caught by one of the two men down at long leg. Richard Ellison was the man just behind deep square, and Paul Allott the one who was finer. Here's the first over after lunch now, and it's Botham bowling to Richards.
That's the short one, there's the hook shot. Allott's coming round, and he's caught it, and he's fallen for the trap, and Botham has done it again. Well, Richards will be crossed, 2 men out there for that shot, dropped to the short one, hooked it, and Allott in the end took a very, very good catch. 64 for 4, and Richards is out for just 8. Really surprising this for Viv, because he knew the 2 men were back there, got the feed ball, and he did exactly what Botham was looking for him to do. Tremendous ovation for Clive Lloyd here on what will certainly be his last Test match appearance in England. Well, that leaves Ian Botham just 1 wicket short of 300. That's his 299th Test wicket, and his figures to date in this innings: 2 for 20, 7 overs and 2 balls. .64 for 4, Botham to bowl.
Well, again, Botham attacking Clive Lloyd with the bouncer straight away, which is, it's never a bad delivery, and Clive got in a bit of trouble there. He didn't really get out of the way very well.
This is Richard Ellison from the pavilion end, had just the 3 overs before lunch. Took that wicket of Larry Gomes. That's through, wide of Gower at slip, racing away down to the Vauxhall end. Tavra giving chase, and there'll be 3 runs here for Dujon. And Botham busy organising his field for Jeff Dujon. Just got the 1 man out on the lakeside boundary. Got a short leg up now. And he's gone, yes, up goes the finger and Dujon is out. A nice little lollopy, sloppy catch there to slip, no problem at all. And 3 wickets now for Botham. Not a very good shot I felt there from Jeff Dujon. It was short enough really for him to have avoided, but off the glove I fancy.
Yes, and quite a bit of bounce there. It got very high, and really to try and play it defensively was almost impossible, but it certainly looked like the glove or the bat handle, and it just lobbed nice and gently to slip.
The applause ringing around the ground now for Ian Botham, because that was his 300th Test match wicket. So what a performance, 4,000 runs and 300 wickets now. And interesting to look in more detail, those 300 wickets. 5 wickets, no fewer than 22 times in Test match cricket. And 10 wickets he's taken on 4 occasions. 8 for 34 is best against Pakistan at Lords. Of course, he got 8 against this same West Indies side at Lords. So Marshall to face Ellison. And it's a magnificent catch this time by Gower at slip. And that late outswing again causing the downfall of Malcolm Marshall. Beautiful piece of bowling. 70 for 6. Real collapse for the West Indies as Marshall goes for naught.
And again, the ball full length, pitched right up there and swinging out, which is what we've said all season's been needed. And Gower really taking off to his left, and a really magnificent catch. You couldn't see a better slip catch than that because it went very quickly and fairly high. But again, the full length ball swinging away will cause problems to this West Indian batting.
It's a good firm blow through mid-on. Agnew giving chase, long way down to that Vauxhall end. Should comfortably save the 4, but they'll go through for 3. Botham now to Baptiste. Oh, and that was so close to Downton. So he's got off the mark, but could so easily have been out again.
And this delivery is certainly bouncing a lot higher than the ball previous. I know it was shorter, but that got quite high above his head. Just a faint touch and just clearing Paul Downton's hands.
No mistake with that. He's actually had rather a poor year, Eldin Baptiste, with the bat. Everyone's mind flashes back to that marvellous first Test innings he played for 87 not out, but he's only made 160 runs on the whole tour, including that 87.
That's a good shot.
Up now, and this is the counter-attack. It's just a question now of whether or not England can contain it. Baptiste launching himself at the bowling, and Lloyd in fact playing rather a secondary role. Well, that won't go for 4. It's slowing up already in the slightly dampened outfield. If Baptiste hadn't fallen over, they may well have run 4 and could even do so now. Might need a dive. Lloyd's got 2 bats. You don't often see that out in the middle of a test match. It's like carrying a 7-pound penalty.
Well, this is quite fun because Clive Lloyd makes the drive, doesn't quite middle it. And there's the fall by Baptiste, and Clive Lloyd picks it up. Thinks he's just going to give it back to him, but he doesn't want it. He's got to run like hell to get in.
That's a great effort there at mid-wicket. Tevin Gower takes off his hat. Looking to hit that straightish little flick of the wrist in the air. And I suppose you could say it was a very fine stop in the end by Gower. And he's gone this time. Beautifully taken low down by Fowler at short extra cover. And Liam Baptiste looking at that ball on the up. Couldn't quite keep it down. Went hard and low to Fowler at short extra.
Agnew will enjoy the opportunity to bowl to a new batsman, Roger Harper, about to face his first ball.
It's a good looking shot to get off the mark with. Over pitch ball, long foot out, cover driven for 4. Good shot that, the long left leg, right out the pitch of it.
Shot. Even the slow outfielder won't pull that up.
It's a pretty good shot, but a little bit risky. It was fairly straight and swinging away, but hit it very well through mid-wicket, and it certainly went to the boundary quite quickly.
Didn't quite time that, but they should pick up 3. It's taken 350 balls for the 150 to come up. 7 wickets down. He was waiting for the, well, either for the well pitched up one or for the bouncer, but he was going to give it a lot of hammer. And now I think Clive Lloyd's going to give Roger Harper a bit of hammer.
Yeah, we've got Roger Harper, and he was going way back outside leg stump there, and eventually he tried to cut a delivery that would have missed leg stump by 6 inches.
Not just that ball, but the whole over. He set Harper up and knocked him over. He needed to bowl the most perfect Yorker there to settle the issue, and that's exactly what both of them did. That's gone. That's well bowled. A big swinging, almost Yorker. The in-swinger. Holding wasn't mad about the decision, but he was completely beaten by the swing there. And now Ian Botham, for the 23rd time, has taken 5 wickets in an innings.
So again, the catchers gather round for Joel Garner. Well, Botham got rid of Richards earlier in the day, and would really make his day to complete it with his other Somerset colleague. Plenty of wide open spaces in front on the offside, and Garner's found it. A long chase there for Graham Fowler. They're looking for 3 here. That's in the air, it's over the top though, it's a fine shot, perfectly safe. Just dropping short of the ropes there. A conclusive blow there from Clive Lloyd. Fair amount of risk in that. He had to time it exactly right to clear that fielder, who's quite deep there to allow him the single. So we're left now with just a single slip. That's Tavri for Clive Lloyd. So a good 50 for Clive Lloyd, that boundary taking him on to 53.
He's gone this time. Garner walks, disappointed. So will Lloyd be, but that's been a great partnership to take the score along from 154, where 2 wickets fell, through to 190, leaving Clive Lloyd 60 not out. And bear in mind that Lloyd almost was unable to play in this Test match. And Clive Lloyd, despite that personal performance of 60 not out, will be desperately disappointed by the final total of 190. The partnerships between Lloyd and Baptiste and Lloyd and Harper are the ones that gave West Indies their chance, but that's not very many runs, 190. The bowling figures for England are very, very impressive. Don't worry too much about Jonathan Agnew, none for 46 in his first Test match. He bowled well enough for a youngster making his debut. Allott bowled superbly, 3 for 25 from 17 overs. Botham brilliant, 5 for 72, and he really ran in today and gave it everything. And Richard Ellison bowled extremely well, mostly outswingers with the occasional one that kept straight, 2 for 34. So it was 5:24 when the innings ended. It left Fowler and Broad or whoever else might have to come in with just about 20 minutes batting, and I can tell you that's no fun at all against this West Indian pace attack. They had to try and survive though. It's Joel Garner coming in, and he is bowling to Graham Fowler. Safe and off the mark, and that'll be a tremendous relief for Graham Fowler and his many supporters. Broad is gone. Barry Mayer has looked at the clock, but there's no doubt about that one. I wondered for a moment if he'd caught his bat with his pad, but it just looked as though it was through him for pace. Yes, that was a very, very quick delivery, and it meant Pat Pocock had to come in and play out the last 2 balls of the day to leave England 10 for 1 wicket. Joel Garner, the wicket taker. Chris Broad bowled by Garner for 4, but it was still very much England's day. They fought hard, and I thought that was the best bowling I've seen from England throughout the series. Not just because they bowled out the West Indies for 190, which in itself is a very, very good performance, but because their line today was very, very good. And I think David Gower must have really worked hard on them to insist that they bowled straight. Their length, well, that was very good as well, but the most important thing was that they bowled straight, and there was none better out there today than that experienced campaigner and great all-rounder Ian Botham, who in addition to scoring over 4,000 runs, today took his 300th wicket in Test match cricket. There are only 5 men now with 300 wickets in the history of the game.